What's going on, guys? Welcome back to RC Voodoo. Today I have the FMS Toyota FJ40 Cruiser, Land Cruiser, and I'm going to be doing some part switching and some upgrading, and I just want to go over with you some of the parts that I've got. So we'll start out with the shocks here. I have these 70 millimeter dual rate oil filled shocks from Endura. They have 4-hole pistons in them, and I've got them full of 35 pound or 35 weight shock oil. And next I have 60 kilogram servo. I'm sure this looks pretty familiar to a lot of you guys, but this one is a fraction of the cost, and we all know it's made by the exact same company that makes the expensive ones that slap their name on it. Next I have the Endura steel rims. I think these are called Hot Shot rims or something, but these are the wheels that come on these FJs. A lot of people are using the wagon wheel type, but this is the one you want to use. And next we have the Dumbo RC X4 radio and receiver. The FMS does come ready to run, but I've used these Dumbos before, and this is truly an upgrade from the stock FMS radio and receiver. So we'll be switching that one out. It comes with a 6-channel receiver. The radio's 4-channel, but you get a 6-channel receiver in case you have, you know, the 6X or the X6 or whatever. You can just bind it up and go. So before we get started on these part switching, and let me get everything out of the way here, because I've had a lot of questions about the FJ, about can you take the top off. So quick answer: top comes off. You can take the windshield off and screw it back in, but I'm just taking the whole thing off for now. I will put the top back on, but I'm going to be removing the roof rack. So yes, the top comes off, and you can make it to the pickup truck looking, if you want it like that, with the windshield will still be there though. And while I'm in here, I want to go ahead and show you something I just finished up on a couple days ago. This is let me turn it around here. You can see where they got the plexiglass windows in here, and unfortunately you can also see all the tabs where it's been, like, you know, they spot melt to hold it in. So what I got is these are 3D printed. It's interior trim, so they've already got the notches out that need to be out to make these easily just to pop in here. So like that, and like that. So that closes up all the you know, the ugly tabs. You will have to use like a little dab of shoe glue, E6000, you know, something, anything besides CA. Don't use super glue, crazy glue, nothing like that that's going to fog up your glass. But, you know, a little dab of hot glue in the corners, a little drop of shoe glue, whatever, will be all you need to hold those in there. So let me see if I can get them a little closer for you. Get them to focus in here. No. But anyway, thought I'd show you those real quick. These will be on my eBay store if anybody's interested in these. And I'll leave a link for everything that I've got here. If you see something that I'm putting on mine that you want to put on yours, the shocks are 70 millimeter. The stock shocks that come on this are 65 millimeter. So I went ahead and put a set of 70 millimeter shocks on the back just to see if it was going to be a huge difference. And I think it looks absolutely perfect. And I've got these cranked down almost, I don't know if you can see, I've got the adjuster cranked down almost all the way in there. So it's setting as high as it possibly will set with 70 millimeter shocks. Those are squeaky, but I just put those on there for, you know, just to check the ride height before I ordered these. So, and a lot of people are putting the shocks connecting right here through this screw and then up to the back of the frame rail, and doing that is basically going to put it right back to 70 or 65 millimeter length, because it's setting about 5 millimeters down lower on the axle. So 70 millimeter shocks, no problem for these, none at all. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is get the wheels off this thing and get them on the new wheels. And I'm not going to record all that. I'll just, maybe I'll time lapse it, I don't know. But either way, I'm going to get the wheels over and I'll be right back. Okay, a quick note on these wheels here. Since the hub is not connected, you can actually run these as deep dish or like that. So if you like that deeper dish look, there you go. But just depending on which side you put your hub on. I thought I'd show you that real quick. Alright guys, that's one side finished. I actually have to redo the front because I got it, I didn't line up the slots just perfect. So yeah, I went with the deep dish also because not only do I like the looks better, but it also pushes the tire out just a little bit. You know, it acts as kind of like a spacer or a hex extender. So there's the there's one side finished pretty much. I think that looks way better than this plastic plastic wheel that you get from FMS. So we'll do the other side. Now here's a close-up look at those wheels. So I've already done the other side. Let's put those on there to see what it looked like. So what I want to show you is the back here. Some of you guys might want to do this. You can see the shock location here on the axle instead of up here on the original location. And in the back on the frame rail where it mounts up, just right up to the top of the curve there. So I'm going to go ahead and get the shocks. This is just a mock-up shock I had on there to measure the 70 millimeter with. So I'm going to get these shocks, the other two shocks switched over, and we'll go from there. When you do, if you do bring the shocks from here back to here, you will need a spacer, like a ball end, to go in here now, because the shock will not be in there, and that link will be sloppy, you know, just sliding around. So you'll have to have just a ball end to put in. Let me show you on this side. You can see I have the link and then just a ball end with no shock attached. That fills up the space where the shock used to be, so your link ain't just slopping around everywhere. And if you guys was wondering, the stock shocks are on an angle. I think they're up here, or they might be back there. Either way, these are not stock straight up and down like that. I actually drilled a hole in there and put a bolt and nut on it, but I think it goes to this one here. So if you're wondering why they don't look the same, yeah, I just put that there. But just clearing that up real quick. Here's a better look at it. Just the link and the ball end there. Okay. I also use a ball end at on the top of the shock where it goes, mounts onto the frame rail. I just put on an extra ball in there because I don't want, you don't have to do this, but I don't want my shocks to lean in like that, unless it has to. I prefer them more straight up and down. So, and you will have to use a little bit longer screw than when you take the screw out of that spot. It's not long enough, so you'll need like probably a 12 to 16 millimeter maybe. So that's on there. And then we'll put that one right there. And when you back the axle screw out, it's a real short, maybe, what is that, 6 millimeter? So you'll need, that's about a 12 millimeter there. So you don't want it too long so that it goes back and hits your axle shaft or start doing some damage in there, but I'm pretty sure that's a 12 millimeter. If it starts getting tight before it tightens up on the shock, then you know that your screw's too long. Make sure you still have nothing restricted. And there you go. Okay. Now we just got to do the front, and everything goes in the stock location on the front. You just pop off the old shock and pop on the new one. These the shocks that come on this are so stiff. And there's no fluid in them. They hold fluid, but the top of the piston is just a C-clip, so it has no restriction going through the oil at all. Very, very little. And the only thing you could do is basically load them down with the thickest oil you could get, and that might slow down. It might slow it down a little, not much, but you get these on. Now here's another look at just the light up in there of the inner fenders that I make. If anyone's interested in them, they will be on. Get some light down here. They'll be on my eBay, so I'll leave a link to those also. Okay, here it is with both shock plates changed out. Now you can see where I drilled that hole. Yours will not have that hole in the frame rail right there. I drilled that to put, when the stock shocks was here, I wanted them straight up and down instead of that big angle forward. But, yeah, there you go. There's shocks in the back, shocks in the front. So much better. So let's, we'll get the tires back on it and move up to the servo. The servo on this is only held on with 2 screws because it is, this side slides down and is captured under the frame rail. So you've only got 2 screws holding the servo on, which is fine because it's very secure. But we're going with something a little stronger. The 60 kilogram Endure servo. And I'll leave a link for this where you can get these really, really cheap, and these are great servos. When you put the new servo in, just hold this, hold your wire back out of the way like that, because you have to push it down in under the frame rail and then down. So, and it takes a little bit of force. So just slide it in and push it down, and then you can put your 2 screws in. Just reuse the same screws that you took out. And it's in. Very simple there. Now, since we're under here, we're going to go ahead and pop out the old receiver and put in the new one. I'm going to use the Dumbo. Let me get it in the view here. The Dumbo X4. This comes with a 6-channel receiver in case you have the X6 or whatever, but this is what we'll be using. It's an improvement from the stock, and I think probably the best budget radio you can buy. We're talking budget. So we're going to pop that one out and pop this one in. Okay, we got the other one out and we got this one hooked up. So let's go ahead and place it right back on the tray there, using the same tape that was already there. But with the if you install the inner fenders, you have 2 nice areas now. If you would like to relocate your ESC or receiver, you got a lot of area on each side now. So that's done under the hood. We got the new radio in. I'll go up and clean these wires up. A little wire management going on, but everything is done under the hood now. So we can move on to the door trim. And this one will be finished for now. This servo does come with a, take it out of the package here, comes with a metal servo horn and all the attachments and screws and everything you need. So you can look it out. And it comes with, the round, the star, and the bushings, all this stuff that nobody ever uses. Okay, I'm using Loctite Extreme. This is not like crazy glue, super glue, any type of CA. This is more like the Fugu or E6000. And I'm just going to put a very small drop up here on the corners. Maybe just a little down the side. I mean, this is basically just to hold it in because it's not going to go anywhere. There's no strain, no pressure, nothing on those. So look at that there. Just set it right in and let it dry. Same thing for the other side. I'm not going to put any on this. I'll put some on the bottom. Down here, I'm not going to put any on. That's just too small. Just put a little bit here and a couple drops around the outer edge. That's all there are to it. Just let it dry and you're done. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this one. I'm going to get the top back on it, and I will leave a link for everything I used in the description. So if you see anything you want on there, go down there and there'll be a link for it. And I'm going to get the top on this. Next time I see you, we'll be on the trail. Until next time, take care.